Hello, everybody. Welcome here to episode 18 of the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. Actually, just got done doing a good half hour or more interview with one of my co-hosts today that's going to be joining us from hopefully time to time now. Jason Williamson, what's up, man?
All right.
Also joined here with Steven Lane,
yep,
as always.
I'm here.
And Jeff Crow.
Yes, sir.
Steven actually making his return.
I think he's like Brock and Sting.
So what? How long you been gone? 2 shows now, or?
I think just 2 shows. Yeah.
Okay. You gave up on Mania season, though.
He's got a contract like Brock and Sting. He just shows up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm a fan of like Lesnar and how he wrestles. That's how he wrestles. Yeah, I come and go when I want, and as soon as I walk in the door and I don't like it, I'll just walk right back out. So, and
he's a quitter.
Lesnar tends to do that exact thing.
And then when you get your way, you'll show up.
Yep. Took his ball.
Steven is the
Sting
Brock
Lesnar.
So. Steven's the Brock Lesnar of the Brawl for All show.
Yep. So next week I might be a little mad, and we'll see.
Why don't you just kick? You gonna shoot on Reigns too tonight, or?
You know what? Reigns can kiss my butt.
He is horrible. I mean, between all 4 of us right now, does Reigns really deserve this?
No, but we need some more nursery rhymes.
Yeah, he should start doing more Dr. Seuss spots. That'd
Hickory
get him
dickory
over.
dock.
Jason, what's your opinion on Reigns?
Well,
future Hall of Fame.
Okay, with no puns aside.
to me, for right now, he's the most reliable person that I would say that just by looks can go toe-to-toe with Brock.
That's the only guy I'm saying that has the size to face him. That's what I said quite a while ago. But other than that, I mean, he is the weakest of the 3 Shield guys in all categories.
Yeah.
He's really not the greatest worker, and he definitely don't have any mic skills.
Well, they're getting a little better.
I think that move's got to go too, like we said, Jeff. That Superman punch. It just doesn't seem like it's not devastating.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm finding more devastating move finishers.
What's your guys' view on the Superman punch?
It fits his character, I guess. I don't have a problem. It's different.
It's not devastating, though.
No, but he does a good job at executing it, though. I'll give him credit for that.
He does do a good job on the execution.
Yeah, he does. He makes it seem believable, I guess.
Yeah. Jason, what do you say?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he sells the move, but
yeah.
no, I mean, not gonna agree. He needs to find something else. I mean, 'cause Big Show's already got his punch. I mean, why throw another finisher with a punch in it? So
You're right. Like Big Show's already got the
spear right after that, so he needs a...
Big Show does the spear, too, I noticed.
I know. He needs to come up with something at least after the punch.
I'm noticing a trend here.
Yeah, what's the trend? That he's just like the Big Show?
He's basically Big Show, but more cut.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he is. Big Show does do that, like, baby well spear. Like, watch out for the baby well coming at you. I swear he does look like he does kind of look like one out there. Anyway, a baby seal. Let me get that. Okay. Anyway, though, if you guys just want to go on to Raw real quick, and we'll go over it then. So, to kick it off, Rollins came out with the authority and said that he got screwed by Orton last week, and he vouched Orton would pay. He said Orton has never messed with anybody like Rollins. He said he accepted Orton's WrestleMania challenge under one condition, that he needs Orton to face him later that night in the ring. And then Orton came out and said he is on for the match, and the authority won't take him out, but he will wipe the future out of WrestleMania for later on. So that was pretty much just like a build-up for the whole Sting segment later on.
Spoiled it.
Spoiler. So what do you guys think of that?
I mean, it was.
That's all it was the setup. I mean, if you're listening to this, you pretty much know what happened on Raw anyway, so.
Yeah,
He set him up. I didn't see that one coming at all.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, you didn't see that coming through Raw at all?
So he basically infiltrated the system for weeks just to do that. When he had Seth Rollins in the ring last week by himself. Why didn't he do it then? That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're wanting to kill somebody. Almost killed you on there, you know, and then
he's just like, "Oh, wait till next week." Like, no, this makes no sense. Why are you waiting? Why are you doing it now? Like, it doesn't make no sense.
It was confusing. Why would they even have Orton wait to do anything?
It could have been part of the whole Sting thing too.
Oh, jeez.
Just set that up. It was probably done for a reason to set something up.
Well, we'll get on the Sting and everything later on, but I'm sure anybody listening to the show already knows about Sting. So,
yeah.
But that was pretty much to set up the main event. Then we can just go over these real quick. They had Nikki Bella with Brie defeat AJ with Paige on a rack attack from a distraction, and I really don't care about the women's division right now at all.
I mean, they have a good Paige and AJ are good. I mean, Cameron's not too bad, actually.
But it seems like other than, AJ and Paige, that all the women are just subpar. But then I went back and watched an old Raw, from 98, when they had Sable taking on Jacqueline, and I'm like, man, that's the worst wrestling right there, by far.
Jacqueline was good, but Sable was just more diva. She was still athletic.
Right.
Power on Miro.
Yeah, but you go back and watch the quality of women's wrestling from that era, and you watch it now. What do you think, Steven? You watched them.
Yeah, there's not much to say.
You can't really complain about today's women's wrestling if you go back and watch what they were doing then.
I mean, when was the peak?
There never really was a peak.
That's when Lunder Blaze came along.
When Lunder Blaze was in there, she was putting on hella matches.
Yeah.
And then they shifted to having Sable out there, just being eye candy pretty much. The matches were horrible. Just look up Sable versus Jacqueline if you want to see how bad it was. I mean, it was botch city. At least they don't botch everything these days.
So, it's hard for a lot of them to follow.
What's your take? Hey, Jason, what's your take on the Divas?
With the current roster, I agree with AJ and Paige, and even Natalya. Those three are pretty much the ones that put on the Divas.
Oh, I'd say Natalya, too.
Yeah.
The rest of them, Cameron's coming along. You can tell each week that her training's getting a little bit better. And it just seemed like Monday night, Nikki didn't really care, even being in the ring, just how she was acting.
I just don't think Nikki and Brie have any real wrestling talent anyway.
No.
They kind of came into that era with Maurice and all them where they were hiring a bunch of models.
Yep.
And it seems like they know a lot of wrestling, but how can you not get really good when Daniel Bryan and John Cena are your boyfriends? They aren't working out with these guys, or what's going on?
I just don't think they're into as much the wrestling aspect of it.
It doesn't even look like AJ's really into it.
No.
She just kind of comes out and goes through the motions, in my opinion. Does she really want to be there? I got to question it.
I don't think so.
Sometimes I wonder. Go ahead.
It just depends on who she's in the ring with, too. You can tell Monday, she pretty much carried Nikki through the whole entire match because Nikki's timing was way off a majority of the moves she done.
Yes.
And, the ending of the match, I really didn't care either because it was let's just make Nikki look like the Big Show and just throw a punch and supposedly knock AJ out with one punch after AJ pretty much, for what my perspective, dominated the match. But
yeah, they did have her finished off pretty weak there on that punch distraction. Because didn't they punch her and that was how they got distracted and she walked into that rack attack?
No, she punched her and then she picked her up and put her in the rack attack.
That was AJ dominates the match and then one little punch from Nikki's or Brie is gonna rock her like that.
But she's probably getting frustrated. I mean, she got anybody good to work with, really.
Man, if they could call up like Bailey and Charlotte and all them guys, man, if they could call the NXT girls up, they'd have a hell of a women's division right there.
Yeah.
I'm so confused by that from now on.
I'm confused from why they aren't calling up NXT people either. Why would they want to make it competition against their own self?
Maybe.
What in the hell are they doing?
Let's sign all these talents and keep them on NXT.
No, maybe there's something they feel like they're missing. That they're. I don't know.
Even though Raw's ratings are like the lowest in like several years, and they only pulled a 2.73.
And Sasha Banks is good.
But I mean, do you remember in the Attitude Era it was a consistent 5-6 rating?
Yeah,
They pulled-
Lita and Trish, who can wrestle in China out there.
Right. But man, Raw used to pull 5 or 6 cable ratings, and now they're pulling 2.73. Shoot.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing to brag about.
No. And the ratings are what you go by keeping on television. They better do something.
I just still think it's lost of competition. I mean,
That PG era is really doing something.
PG and the loss of competition be over.
I think PG is terrible.
Yeah. They extended 3 hours is stupid also.
Say what? Oh, the 3 hours is getting really bad.
Yeah, I wish they would make it 4 hours.
Because, Jeff, you remember we were watching it together, right? And by the time they did the spot in the main event, I'm sitting there like, just get it over with already.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty much how you feel. Like, let's just get this on the show on the road.
Mm-hmm.
God, it just gets so monotonous, and you're like, you just want it to end. You should not want it to end. You should want more. Not when it comes to the end, you're like, I'm done for the week. You know?
Yeah, they got so much to put in 3 hours. I mean, that's.
It shouldn't be a job to watch it, you know? Jeez. It's supposed to be entertainment, not work. That's just the way I look at it. Anyway, moving on from the women's division, you had Ryback get the meat hook and a skull, or what the heck's he call it? The shell shock? After the Miz and Mizdow got into a little confrontation, that distracted the Miz and let Ryback get all those moves in. And then Mizdow helped the Miz up, and Miz turned it on him and hit him with the skull-crushing finale and left. I've been seeing that coming for weeks. I don't know why they haven't done it already.
Yeah, must be holding off for a reason.
Anybody have any comments on that? I can't stand Ryback.
No comment.
They could release Ryback tomorrow, and I wouldn't care. So
He's getting over with the crowd, though. I mean,
they already lost. They had him perfectly over with the crowd that time when they turned him heel that first time.
Ryback sucks so bad. Now I hate our own fans.
he would probably go back and be a pretty decent heel.
Oh man!
And he can't even throw a punch.
Rybotch.
It's just like.
What's your thoughts on Rybotch, Jason?
I don't know. He's a Goldberg wannabe.
He is a Goldberg wannabe, dude.
Just some of his movesets he does, I mean, it pretty much clones Goldberg. I mean,
Well, he's a Goldberg wannabe, but like with half the talent, like if that.
Like 1/20th of the talent.
That's what I'm saying. Like Goldberg would clean him like he'd use him like a mop in the ring.
Football, I mean.
I wonder if Ryback's all natural. What do you guys think?
Oh, I'm sure he probably hasn't touched a illegal substance in his life.
No, not him.
No. If anybody on the roster is roiding, it's not him.
I mean, I don't get he's like, I don't understand why he's over. He has the biggest ego. Like, you can tell, like, if I met him in real life, I would not like that guy.
Is he over, though? Is he really?
It's a younger crowd, I think, that he's over with.
Would you really call him over, though? Like,
well,
I guess he's a face, but he's not really over.
Okay, considering where he's at on the card right now, no, not really.
Because they were considering putting him into that duo, that redneck duo with Rowan and Ziggler, remember?
Yeah, I mean, what is he doing right now anyway, I guess? Like,
Tagging with Rowan lately, too.
Is he up at catering right now? Like, well, I mean, what exactly is he doing on the card, you know?
Maybe
like,
just feed me more chance they're into. I don't know.
Yeah, they love
that
it.
sucks. The big guy, like, how big of his ego is that guy have? The big guy? What? You can't give yourself a nickname. Like, he gave himself that nickname.
He gave himself it?
Yeah, like, come on. The big guy.
I'm the big guy.
Like, nobody likes you.
Feed me more.
Does he have friends at WWE? Like, I don't know of that. Like, I don't think anybody there even likes him. Like, CM Punk was totally right. Like, Ryback has nothing to say back to that. Like, go back, work at Smoky Bones, do whatever you're doing. Go back waiting tables, serving barbecue, whatever it is you do.
Oh, feed me more. He even called him the big steroid guy.
The big steroid guy. Like, yeah, like that is, and Ryback can't deny that. Like, no, like
whatever. I'm not a big steroid guy.
I mean, gosh.
Okay, moving on from Ryback. We had the Cena Rusev contract signing, which I kind of found funny because Rusev had that guy filling in as a lawyer with him. Who was that?
I read they did some audition for for actors to play the part.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
was he a Russian lawyer?
No, he was just a regular American lawyer, like speaking on his behalf.
That's a missed opportunity. They should have got a Russian, with a big Russian accent. That'd have been big pop.
Did you know that Lana's out for what is it? She's gonna be off TV for several weeks, possibly even missing Mania.
What?
Yeah.
Filming a movie with Edge.
Filming a movie with Edge. They said if they wanted to, they could fly her in for the night of Mania, which I think would probably be a good idea.
Well, I'm not watching Raw anymore.
Why would
hear about that lawyer that Vince basically that he was doing so bad in there?
Yeah, Vince told JBL to bash him.
Bury him.
So JBL starts burying him because Vince told him to.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like, it was a shoot?
Yeah, it was a shoot. So go back and
I
watch.
haven't seen it yet, but I still have it. I just haven't gotten 3 hours of Raw, that takes about a week.
Lana should be back, but if she's going to miss Mania, that's ridiculous. Why is she even in this storyline?
Well, she's going to be in a movie with Edge?
Yeah.
Huh. Is it a WWE studio movie?
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Why WWE wouldn't let a wrestler be in a non-WWE movie.
Oh, why? No.
That was a stupid question.
You're The Rock. With what he started out with, my guess.
Yeah.
The
Jason,
Rock, they couldn't tell him what to do.
Jason, if you have any comments on that? Cena Rusev?
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong segment between Cena and Rusev, but the attorney guy. I mean,
yeah, that was bad.
I'm not some local indie guy, pretty much. That's pretty much. I mean, you get the characters like that come off like that. It's usually some local indie guy that's portraying it.
It would have been Tommy Jackson out there, maybe, if you would have been around.
I think WWE owns Tommy Jackson's name.
Probably.
They got that.
Tommy, I think they got you cornered on the trademark, man.
Yep.
I mean, they can trademark the little.
Listen to this, they do.
What if anybody ever comes through NXT and is named Tommy Jackson? I'll laugh.
You can sue him.
I'll be royalties for that.
I don't think he could sue him, really.
Trademark it.
It's trademarked.
You better trademark your name, Jason.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is a strong segment between Cena and Rusev.
I thought it was.
But I mean, it is a good build-up for. I mean, even for this Monday coming up. But.
Just to note, I had Cena said Rusev disgusted him. He disrespects U.S. all the time. He's more ashamed of Rusev as the U.S. champion, though, he said. And then he said he calls the contract a declaration of a WrestleMania revolution, and he'll stand up and fight for the country. So he's all like going Hulk Hogan mode on us, guys.
Yeah.
And then Rusev came out there with that lawyer and said he never really agreed to the match. He read a prepared statement, and then he ripped on the crowd. He signed the contract and flipped the table at Cena. So, And then he took off. So that was the segment. It was a good, strong segment. I thought whenever Rusev took the mic, he did a pretty good... He's doing a good job on the stick, really.
Yeah.
And he does sound legitimately Russian. Like he's... I don't know if he is, though. Like, does he speak English, or is that... I don't know.
He's like Bulgarian or something.
Yeah, he's Bulgarian. So... They didn't really need the lawyer out there, you know?
No.
It was kind of comedic, really. I mean, I thought it was a big joke.
Yeah, they was pretty much using that because Lana agreed to give the match to Cena, and they figured, well, we'll just kick her out for the week and bring this attorney in.
Well, she had to leave anyway, so...
Yeah.
Are they going to keep this attorney guy with him now since Lana's out for a time being, or...?
Sounds like I would think they should.
I don't think so.
I don't think they will after that because they made JBL diss him.
That's the last time you'll see him, pretty sure.
I'm actually looking forward to seeing that now because that sounds like that's probably the most enjoyable part of the show.
Oh, it was funny, dude.
The week before, Cena, then actually it made him look good. I mean, when I just had him, he didn't really talk. He just came out there and whipped his ass. Made him pass out.
Yeah, that was actually a better segment than this contract signing. And wouldn't you have a contract signing? I guess she did just yell out last week that he could have the match, but like if they end up having a Sting and Triple H contract signing and they already have the match scheduled for Mania, isn't that pointless?
It's gotta be official.
Yeah, but still, like JR said, you think they'd already have the contract signed? I think it was him that said that. But.
All right.
He thinks they should be like right away. I think it was Dave Meltzer that said that they should do the contract right away because why would you wait till like the week before Mania to sign a contract?
Yeah,
Doesn't make any sense if you really think about it.
WWE makes total sense.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, it doesn't make sense.
No.
Why would you be feuding all these weeks for and advertising the match, but the contract's not officially signed? You know.
Doesn't need to. Triple H got control.
I guess. Okay, so moving on from that segment, you had Kid Cesaro, I like to call him. Cesaro and Kid defeated New Day with Woods. Cesaro got a roll up on somebody, I can't remember. Does Woods even wrestle, or is he just pretty much a manager?
I didn't know he was on the payroll.
He wrestled the week before.
Okay.
Biggie
He's a good wrestler.
Okay, because it seems like Biggie and Kingston do most of the work there. I don't know.
I don't think he's got the size, really.
He's a good talker, though. I think that's what they got him for.
He's a good talker, and he's got good in-ring skills. He's small.
Anyway, the Matadores, Los Matadores, came out afterwards and started to brawl with the New Day. Kofi got tossed into Cesaro. Cesaro hit a neutralizer and tossed him outside, and then they had freaking El Torito, Hurricane Rana Cesaro outside. Like, why would you have... Why are they taking bumps for that guy? Okay, Jason, at your height, 6'5", being wrestled, would you want to take a bump for El Torito?
Well, that's for business.
Yeah, I mean, but especially if you're Cesaro. I mean, you're supposed to be a badass, but you got El Torito taking you down. Like, I don't know.
Well, I don't like how they're using Cesaro anyway. I mean,
neither do I.
No.
It's how he used to be like a Ring of Honor. I mean,
how is this guy not one of the top guys in the company yet?
Yeah.
So is the Ascension dead?
I haven't seen them for weeks or heard anything of the Ascension.
Well, that means they're dead.
Have they been on Superstars or Main Event or anything? Anybody?
I don't think so.
Huh. That's interesting to know. So what do you guys think for Mania? Are they going to do this like triangle, three-way tag match or something? They haven't announced a tag match. Even though they have 8 matches already announced, they haven't announced any tag match.
Well, they'll probably be the pre-show, probably. But it's supposed to be a 4-way, but one of the Usos got hurt. And,
so there is a tag match scheduled.
Yeah, I imagine it'll probably be the pre-show.
I'm thinking so, too, because I got the 8 matches that they already have planned, so... Moving on from that, I just wanted to note that they had the Sheamus return promo. I don't know when he's coming back, but I'm thinking he may figure in at Mania somehow. And then they had the Wyatt promo with the urn talking about Sister Abigail and stuff, and claiming Taker's Requiem and Final Resting Place will be at Mania. I was kind of disappointed they didn't have Wyatt come out and do anything in the ring again, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's just like they'll do a backstage segment to keep it going because they know Taker's not going to be there, so.
I hadn't been enough time, and then since, Taker wasn't there.
It was cool, though. He poured the ashes out into his hand and stuff and brought up Sister Abigail, and is she going to come into play? Who knows? Sheamus returned, though. Anybody got any comments on that?
I thought he'd been returned by now because they started a while ago.
Yeah.
So he missed his plane ride, obviously, or something.
Well, it seems like last week we were saying that we didn't know when he was coming back, but it seemed like last week I don't even remember seeing a return promo for him last week, but they had one this week.
Maybe he's having visa problems.
I don't know, man. He could be having those old visa problems. You never know.
He's probably going to show up in the Battle Royal, probably.
I was saying, I think he may come into play at Mania somehow. Could have a bigger role than the Battle Royal, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
He could throw his hat into that ladder match.
That's a possibility.
Huh.
Who knows? Any comments on that, Steven? I know you don't really like the way Wyatt's going with Taker, do you?
No, I mean, not really, because I know a lot of people like Wyatt. It's cool, but I feel like he just says the same thing over and over and over. It's like, we get it. And he talks in the same tone. It's just like, it's beating a dead horse, I feel like. That's all.
I think he's good on the mic and his
Oh,
promos.
yeah, he's got the gift to gab. I don't have that gift, no, very few people do, but... very few people can, change it up, and I feel like he's just kind of saying the same thing.
He does repeat it. It does get repetitive after a while. He doesn't really switch it up.
And then he does the serious thing, and then he does the where he does the laugh, and then he, and it's like he does that every single time.
Although I did like the segment just because of the fact that he had the urn out there and everything last week, but.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to build the character right now.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like he's coming off. I don't know. I mean, I don't see him taking over for Taker.
Well, yeah. That's how hard that's gonna be. That's gonna take.
That'd be hard for anyone. You're right. And as the time goes on, I was saying that Wyatt is gonna win, but as time goes on, I think Taker's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yep. There's no reason for him to lose.
I thought they might build Wyatt with it, but 2 years.
I just think because he lost that Mania against Brock last year, he's going to come back.
2 years in a row. I got to apologize on this episode. We're having some feedback issues this week. I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's not too bad. Going on from there, we had the Lesnar promo pre-taped. What'd you guys think of that?
I always enjoy his.
I do too. I actually liked how he said he was going to fuck Reigns up, but they bleeped it out. He said Mania is not going to be a fairy tale. I actually have down what he said. He said that he was put in the WWE to hurt people, conquer them. He said that WrestleMania means he can kick someone's ass on a big stage and get paid for it. He said
he literally is the best on the mic.
Right,
he really is.
He is. But let me read this real quick. He said beating Undertaker, he actually took pride in, and he doesn't really care what people thought about him doing it, and he didn't care about people being upset about him beating Undertaker. That was fun. And then he said whether he stays in WWE or not, he'll remain the champion, and he's going to beat down Reigns. He said you think he's a bad man in hunt mode, but they better get ready to see him in defense mode, which I really didn't get that. And then he said that Reigns is getting his ass kicked and there's no fairy tale ending, and that he's going to fuck up Reigns at Mania. That was a good promo.
Yeah.
Him throwing that Undertaker pun in there, me and Jeff were laughing at.
Cracks me up.
Any comment on that, Jason?
It's a good, strong promo. I mean, no matter what promo Lesnar does, he's always going to bring up that he beat the Undertaker. I mean, which is an accomplishment. I mean, because nobody else done it at Mania. But I mean, for Lesnar, he pretty much talks about he actually goes to the ring and actually does it.
Yeah, he really does. He can back up what he does. I mean, he's really believable.
Well, yeah, he takes it like it's like a real MMA fight. That's what he's kind of like basing his, I think, kind of off of his promos.
Yeah, he's giving it realism that they really need. They should take note on his interviews and tell guys to be more like him.
Like it's a legit fight.
Like you said, Steven, he definitely is the best talker right now.
Yeah, because he actually seems real.
Right, he's real, and you can believe that he beat the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And that's why they did it with Taker now in the long run. You can kind of see that now. That's why they used Lesnar to beat him. He's the only guy legitimate enough in this era that's ever going to come around again to be able to take that streak.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that McMahon thought it was, getting to be bigger than Mania, and he needed to end it, and he just did it. And it is what it is,
Was, because, like I said, Taker couldn't put on the matches he used to.
Right. It was kind of overshadowing Mania, the streak was. And I think that's why they pulled the gun on it, really. But we'll never know. I don't know. We might know one day if Taker ever puts out a DVD, which I'm hoping they do. It'll be the biggest selling DVD, whatever, the Blu-ray that they ever made.
He will.
On from that segment, I thought it was cool. I think we all around thought it was good. I'd like to see Lesnar in the arena more, though. So that's my only complaint.
Fill up when you want.
Yep. Big Show versus Rowan ended in a no contest. I really have nothing to say.
No.
Then we had anything to say on that, Jason?
No, just a spot, or pretty much a wasted time spot.
That's what I thought. I just kind of moving on from that.
Rowan, though.
They aren't doing it.
Yeah, I didn't have.
I pretty much think Rowan's about done. What are they gonna do with him?
It became a pretty good gimmick. He actually, when he talked to Mike, he wasn't too bad. It's his gimmick they're using him bad.
He needs to get out of that Wyatt family gimmick with the sheep mask.
Right.
I like the sheep mask, but it just reminds me of the Wyatt family too much.
Yeah, he could have been more the creepier one, I think, than Wyatt.
What's your comment on him, Steven?
He's cool, but it's very, very, very limited.
Do you see him being around much longer?
I think, he'll stick around for maybe another year or so, but other than that, nah. Creative has nothing for him.
That's what I'm saying. He'll have no direction, and they're just going to have to drop him. He'll end up in TNA or something.
They could bring down NXT for a while.
Yeah, they could freshen him up down there in NXT. That would be a good
Some
idea.
bigger guys down there to work with.
He'd be such a monster on that roster, though. I'd be just...
With big Gaz down there.
Big Cass is good. And
yeah.
Him and Enzo Amore, I've never really mentioned them, but they are good in NXT.
He looks like he's put a little muscle on, too.
Yeah, and they're cutting some classic promos down there.
Oh, Enzo.
Did you hear the one they did about last week about calling the Lucha Dragons the Geico Lizards?
Yeah.
If they don't serve for 15% more on their car insurance, they better just get their asses out of the way because there's an accident happening.
Enzo's good on the mic.
Enzo and Cass, they could be a big act up there. They almost remind me of like a Hall and Nash.
Yeah, they do.
But more street type, like
X-Pac.
like a New York Hall and Nash,
Yeah.
Any comments on anything we just said there before I go on?
Nah.
Okay, well then we had the segment with the Battle Royal where Kane gathered a bunch of superstars in there for a WrestleMania demonstration. He said he was going to be the only one winning the Battle Royal. Then Mark Henry cut him off. He threw his name in there. And then he started a brawl. It ended up a mini Battle Royal. It came down to Kane and Henry. Henry tried throwing Kane outside, but then Axelmania ran in there and tried to toss Henry over, but Henry tossed Axelmania out, and that was the end of the segment. So, are they really loving Axelmania or what?
I just think he's getting a crowd reaction, so...
He's getting some TV time now.
It's like, go.
It might be the best thing he ever did was start the Axelmania gimmick. I don't know.
Like I said, I think he's good on the mic.
I'm glad to see Henry back in there, though, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Although I'm kind of glad to see him just back in there because it makes the roster stronger for younger guys to face, but I do think he needs to hang it up in the near future.
Yeah, I think Mania next year, it's in Dallas. So
how many times can a guy get injured and come back? I mean, if we had a record on Mark Henry's injuries, it'd be probably about 4 or 5 pages long. I mean, really, this guy is so injury prone.
He done a lot of powerlifting and stuff, so
Any comments on that, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad to see Mark Henry back. I mean, he brings some good qualities to the younger guys.
Yeah, that's like I was just saying, right?
Yeah.
He really does.
I mean, he's injury prone. I mean, he's kind of like a Kevin Nash, but
yeah, he's real injury prone, and they signed him like the first guy ever to a 10-year contract or something, I remember, and they just couldn't help that he got injured all the time, and I think they just feel sorry for him now because he's wrestled so long for him, and they're like, we got to give this guy a job. But he does his job when he's there. He does good work, in my opinion, and he's believable.
You can tell he's slimmed down.
I think they missed the boat on having a real good feud with him and Lesnar.
Yeah.
They had Lesnar just beat him down. I think they could have had a good feud, really. So, that's just a comment. I don't know. Going on from there, they had the Heyman segment with Reigns coming out. Well, actually, Haynes came out, or Heyman, not Haynes. Heyman came out first and said Lesnar was going to win at WrestleMania. He's going there for a war. He said they're going to be stuck with Brock as champ, and there's not a damn thing that they can do. His mic got cut off again, and he got pissed. He says Reigns can beat up Lesnar. Reigns can't beat up Lesnar, let alone beat him up any time, like he said. And he said someone should have told him that. I think the stupid part was having his mic get cut off again. I mean, I knew that was going to happen.
There's got to be a point, I mean, because they keep doing it, so...
Is it supposed to be the Authority messing with him?
There's something going on. It's got to be part of an upcoming storyline or something.
Okay, and then Reigns came out and said Heyman's talking trash, but he's just trying to tell everyone where he's from and what he can do. He claimed that his problem is actually with Brock, and since he was not there, he was going to tell him anyway, and he looked at the camera and said he did expect the war, and he might get carried out, but his family will carry him out. So they're really trying to play on that Inoue family thing with him and The Rock, in my opinion. And then it said when he gets carried out, he'll have the WWE title with him. He said he'll also have a huge chip on his shoulder because all the people that doubt him. And he'll win because he can, he will, and he believes. So what did you guys think? Strong. I did think he did a good job on the stick.
Yeah, he did.
Better than what he's done in the past.
Yeah, I think it was probably his best so far.
But coming up with why does he have to bring up like his family's going to carry him out, and like they're really trying to play up on that family thing. Now I know why Rikishi's getting put in the Hall of Fame, trying to make him look good.
There's something to it. I don't know.
That bloodline seems a little too close.
They'll probably all been together.
They're all related in Samoa.
I'm still
like how closely related are
Jason,
they?
did you ever meet any Samoans?
No, whatsoever.
I heard there's some.
If you met a Samoan and they're involved in wrestling, you know that's going to be a part of.
It's a 50-50. Well, it's a 50-50. They're either going to be fat or like really cut and muscular.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
And they're going to go
I'm
hard.
in the military, and they're pretty bad dudes, I'll tell you that.
And they're going to go hardcore on you, too, out there. They ain't going to take it lightly.
Yeah, they got thick skulls.
Yeah, they do.
And they're all related. It's like in the military, every base I went to, there was like, oh, yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, The Rock's my brother.
Yeah.
All related. You're all cousins.
I'm actually surprised that they have used Rock more since he came out the Rumble. And
yeah, but he was disappointed in that. Maybe he said he didn't want nothing else to do with it.
Yeah.
Because he
So
was.
I think the heel turns in the works.
I do think a hill turns in the works.
Heyman.
Yeah, he'll be. Well,
I do see the double switch coming at Mania right now.
I do.
They're gonna pull the double switch.
I think.
Double switch.
Yep, they're gonna put.
Heyman
They're gonna
on
make
Reigns.
they're gonna make Lesnar baby, and make Reigns heel with Heyman, and that way when Lesnar comes back, he'll be a fired up face, get a good crowd reaction after he does his fight or whatever. I think it'd be a perfect way to go.
I'd like to see Brock back in his old gear.
He's just not gonna do it though. Like you said, is something wrong? Like his legs aren't as big no more. Like he's got some chicken legs out there. I don't know what it is.
He doesn't have no calves. That's for
Yeah, but he used to.
They're just playing off his MMA.
That's what they're doing, though, Jeff. You're right. They're just playing off his MMA days and having him wear that gear like he's an MMA fighter out there. But I do like his old style better. With the classic tights. I do.
Yeah, he was a badass.
I like them better like that.
Yeah.
On that, he actually had more moves back then, too, instead of 500 G.
All he does is German suplexes. He's the new Taz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is the deal with that? Like, he's the most over guy with one move.
Dude, you like Taz, didn't you?
I love Taz.
What did he do?
He did more than just suplexes, at least.
Hey, come on. He does the Kimura arm lock.
He's getting
I mean, he
prepared
was
for
good.
No, I'm saying...
Reigns.
Say what, Jeff?
He's getting prepared for Reigns. He knows he can't. There's only so many moves he's going to be able to do anyway.
No kidding. Oh, that match could be a train wreck, really.
I see it as a terrible match. It's going to be terrible.
Well, we'll see what happens. They could surprise us, but you never know.
I'm going to say, I mean, he could pull a good performance out. You never know.
Okay.
Like two non-workers working.
Goldberg.
Say what now, Jason?
It can't be worse whenever Lesnar won against Goldberg. I mean, everybody built that match up, and it was terrible.
Yeah, I told Jeff that they actually said that could happen because if everybody will figure out that he's going to be leaving, they said that could happen.
I don't think it's as big a deal as it was then, because since, I mean, like I said, it's more UFC and WWE kind of mixing it up a little with each other, it's playing off each other a little bit.
Right. Okay, well, moving on from that, they had the Bad News Barrett, Harper, and Stardust against Bryan, Ambrose, and Ziggler. Ambrose had that cool counter on the bullhammer and hit the Dirty Deeds. I remember, Jeff, me and you saw it, and we were like, that was cool.
Yeah.
And then Harper started a post-match brawl, which resulted in everyone playing hot potato with the belt again, which I really wish they wouldn't do, but they are. Bad News Barrett ended up bullhammering everyone and taking the belt back. That was it. So, any word on that?
I thought they made Barrett look, halfway credible.
Yeah, well, I think the hot potato thing's going to end.
I think it will for me.
Well, I'm just getting bored that that's all they're doing anymore is just that hot potato segment.
Except Truth's pretty funny.
Oh, he's hilarious. He's downright hilarious, Truth is. Jason, any word on that? Say what?
I was going to say that potato hopping with the belt reminds me of the hardcore title back a few years ago whenever Crash Holly had it. And they had the 24-hour.
I actually said that 4 or 5 episodes ago or something that reminded me of that.
Sorry about that.
Yep, I did say that. Going on there, it was actually the main event after this because it showed a backstage segment of Rollins complaining to Stephanie about being left all alone. It was kind of just setting up Orton. She asked Triple H and Steph for help, and they told Rollins to fix it himself, and they start blaming everybody, and Rollins said it was their fault in the first place. Rollins told Triple H that he was playing hide-and-seek with Sting. Stephanie and Triple H told Rollins that he needs to be a man and fix things and get out of the office. And then that went into the main event segment, which had you thinking like Rollins is going in all alone. And then he came out and said it took Orton 3 weeks to make the Authority look like fools, but it took him 3 hours, and he laughed as the whole Authority came down united. Orton armed himself with a chair, and Triple H mocked him as he led the group to the ring. And then the lights went out, and Sting appeared next to Orton. Sting and Orton unloaded on the Authority with a baseball bat and chair strikes. And then Sting actually got a Stinger splash in on J&J, and then mocked Triple H on the floor. And then Sting hit Noble with a Scorpion Death Drop as he pointed at Triple H. And then Sting kept everyone at bay as Orton RKO'd Mercury. So that's how it went off the air. So, like we already talked about Sting being on there, and I really do think this finish was awesome, but I do have one thing to say after you guys. What do you guys got to say?
Not too much.
I did think it was a good segment. I mean, it really redeemed the whole Raw. I thought it was going to be horrible till that part.
Yeah, I knew when Orton was in the ring by himself. And I still think it's weird that promo with his voice like that.
I think that really was. I mean, it's got. I really think Vince is going to show up at Mania or something.
Was that the Shockmaster?
It was the Shockmaster.
I think it's the Shockmaster.
Oh, jeez. It was the Shockmaster.
Yeah, I think it was.
Sting looked like he was in pretty good shape, though. His age.
Yeah, he was actually. He didn't look like he was blowing up or anything. Yeah, out there kicking some ass, man. They actually got him physical. The only thing I hated about it is they had his interview in ring on the network instead of ending. They should have ended Raw with that interview.
Yeah.
I love how they're.
Was it on network?
Yeah, I love how they're making it now. If you don't have the network, that you feel like you're left out.
Right.
The first time they had Sting talk was on the network.
That's how they're trying to get people to subscribe to it.
In the ring, after Raw went off the air, they do an in-ring interview with Michael Cole and Sting. I mean, come on.
They're trying to give people incentive to get it.
What do you think, Jason? Do you think they should have had it on Raw?
Yeah, because I mean, we're trying to build the feud up between Triple H and Sting, and but I mean, after Rumble, they lost all those subscribers, so they're figure, well, we'll just put Sting on the network and we'll try to build up our ratings again. But with the whole Sting and Orton thing, I had two different views of it, just because with me being behind the business.
Yeah.
One, I liked it. I mean, it was good, but part of me wishes that they would have got the beat down on Orton and Sting. Trying to build the match up more, because, I mean, Triple H has only had a few shots on Sting, and it makes you think that going into Mania, Sting's going to win. But, because, I mean, like, back when Sting and the NWO was feuding, I mean, NWO got a few shots on Sting and all that.
Yeah, you're saying Sting hasn't got beat down one time. You're right.
Yeah, and I mentioned that, a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, that he was going to need to get beat down, and they never have. You're right, man. The J&J should have just put a beating on him, dude. Good analysis, man. See, that's why I like having Jason on here, because he does come from behind the scenes, and that's something I wasn't even thinking of, but you're exactly right, man. Like, why not have Sting get... This next week, I think Sting needs to take a beating.
Yeah, usually everybody that goes in Mania, at least somebody's got some good shots in them.
Well, Jason's going to
build it up more.
You're going to be here for Raw to watch with us anyway, right? So, like, we're gonna. I think that we're going to end up seeing Sting get beat down next week.
It would make sense.
If there's a contract signing or something, I could see Sting getting beat down.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have him come out there and kick ass 2 weeks in a row if they have money.
He's got to get some shots in for Mania.
You're right. Triple H needs to get shots in.
Yeah.
So, overall on Raw, I'm going to give it more than a mediocre. I'm going to give it like an average, maybe. Like, it was an average to good Raw. They actually moved on some good they did some good storyline movement in this Raw, and having Sting come out at the end was like a moment in Raw history that you're never going to forget, which counts for something there.
Without Taker or Brock there, I mean, it was pretty good for not having them there.
You're right, and by the look of when the man will come around at Mania, it does look like they're going to keep him off TV till Mania, which I think it's the best move to keep Taker off of there. What do you think, Steven?
Yeah, dude, I mean, it's been pretty mediocre.
Don't you think Undertaker being off TV is going to benefit it in the long run?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of weird. I don't know if anything like that's ever been done.
Well, they did it. They did it when he came back and faced Kane.
Okay, so it can be done.
When he went back to the dark side,
Yeah.
But that was a different situation.
Different time period.
But it was funny how Wyatt was talking about how everybody thinks he's broken down and what is he even going to show up and everything. So people are going to be wondering how he's going to look at Mania. If he comes out looking really good and does a hell of a match, people are going to be excited after that. So
come out with a walker.
If he comes out with a walker or a cane,
I'd pop for that.
I think it's time to go Hall of Fame bound and hang it up.
Yeah,
but I would pop for it.
I'd pop for it. That'd be the entrance of the cinch.
He already takes a half hour on his entrances anyway. He'd probably take an hour with a walker.
Like 20 minutes of that WrestleMania is just Undertaker walking. So, like, his song literally is probably on repeat about 10 times by the time he gets there.
Takes him an hour. An hour of Mania was Taker's entrance.
Even he's probably like, shit, this is a long walk. He's going whatever
Him and Triple H are probably an hour.
It's a long day.
And then they had fucking Wyatt last year too.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you
Yeah.
add up the entrances, I wonder and how much time they took on the entrances in the whole show.
Wow.
And I heard they're planning some special ones this year.
Oh, I bet they're gonna have some crazy entrances like always. I
Well,
always like them though.
Too bad they didn't have one with like Simon Dean on a freaking Segway.
They need to bring Simon Dean back.
Segway.
Oh man. Well, I got some notes to end off the show real quick and go through and see what you guys got to say. If that was pretty much it on Raw there. So, till next week, I think we're pretty good on Raw. But did you guys hear that Kevin Owens had to undergo minor knee surgery and he's out 4 to 6 weeks and he's even going to miss the big Mania event they have for NXT.
Oh wow, that's perfect timing.
Yeah, I don't know. He injured it like last week or something. And WWE's interested in signing the Briscoes from ROH.
Now that's made.
So the Briscoes and Samoa Joe both are on the radar for WWE right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Samoa Joe's going to sign.
What do you think, Steven? You don't think the Briscoes would do good?
Oh no, I think that's been a long time overdue.
Yeah, me too. I think they're going to do a hell of a job, especially if they get on the NXT roster. I heard they're going to finish up in April and come, maybe.
Be the new headbangers.
Nah,
No.
that's what they're pretty much like.
Put Mosh and Thrasher back in it, please.
Hey, they tried to make a comeback last year or the year before. I can't remember.
Yeah, they were in Ring of Honor, yeah.
Yeah, they were. You're right.
They dressed in like they look like a bunch of peewees in there.
I remember they tried to make that comeback run. They were trying to get back into WWE.
Yeah, they look like the Ding Dongs.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they were dressed in all black from head to like how Cesaro and Tyson Kidd debuted, you know?
Oh, yeah, kind of like conquistadors.
Yeah, that's what Mosh and Thrasher was dressed like in Ring of Honor. And you're like, who are they? And like, oh, geez.
Yeah, and Samoa Joe said to be signing like right after his ROH run, so I expect him in NXT soon. They will not put him on the main roster.
They don't sign anybody and put them on Raw anymore. They always put them in developmentals. Like, you're 38? Yeah, you need development.
It's not considered developmental now, Steven.
Oh, it's just its own entity that
Yes,
never see Raw.
yes, that's
they
what
should be that should be on the contract. Like, well, if you come to NXT, you'll never see Raw.
He may go to the main roster. I don't know.
You never know. Kevin Owens and them got those contracts where they only have to be there like a few months and they have to go to the main roster.
But Samoa Joe's a bigger name than a lot of them guys.
Oh, we get... Go ahead.
The Ascension bombed, so they're like, anybody in NXT, you're not coming to Raw.
Yeah, what
This don't
happened?
work.
I guess the Ascension's just never going to be talked about again. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, they're dead. They're dead in water, man.
Jason, if you want to jump in on anything on this last thing, go ahead.
Yeah, only time I watch NXT is when regular on YouTube.
NXT's really good. It's on Hulu Plus, and you can find it on the network. So
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of the guys been in the even before they came in NXT. I mean, they got some good talent. Even like one of the refs used to be a indie wrestler. He used to be Greg Younger, and he was a hell of a wrestler. And he just decided he just wants to referee.
Wow.
that's cool. So, Jason, did you ever have any chance to be in a developmental or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just wondering.
I didn't even attempt to do it.
Yeah. I guess Snoop Dogg's going to be there with Bill Simmons next week. Snoop Dogg's going to be the guest host for Raw, and this Bill Simmons from ESPN. Do you guys know?
Dude, I love
can't
Bill
stand
Simmons.
He's
I
gonna
can't stand
he's
him.
gonna be a guest commentator next week.
Yes, I love Bill Simmons.
Okay. I really don't know much on Bill Simmons.
Annoying.
Oh man, I listen to his podcast every week.
But how about this though? I was thinking we had Wiz Khalifa high out of his mind last week before this, and now we get to have Snoop Dogg on there ripped out of his mind.
Wow, I think that is interesting. What do they have to do with wrestling?
I don't know.
Well, I guess Wiz Khalifa was on a soundtrack.
We got to get Vince in there. Oh, that was some good stuff, son.
Oh,
Get on out there and kill him, son. You know, that was some good green there, brother. Hogan's back there. This is some good green, brother. You keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Wow.
Pass that joint back over here, brother. Yeah, because Wiz Khalifa was high out of his mind, if you didn't hear.
Oh, of course.
He put it on the tweet. What was it, Jeff? Have you ever performed a song out in front of people?
I do. Yeah, have you
In
ever...
front of 20,000 people? And then it said...
Yeah, have you ever performed a song that you've never sang before in front, or a new song in front of a huge crowd? And then he put, have you ever done a... What do you put? Oh, yeah, have you ever done a song that you've never done before in front of a huge crowd on weed?
On weed?
Yeah, it was kind of like a play off that Jon Stewart thing off Half Baked.
Yeah, that's what it was. If you've ever seen Half Baked, that's what that's from. You ever seen the back of a $20 bill, man?
Ever seen the back of a $20 bill on weed?
There's some crazy things going on there. Okay. Anyway, though, LL Cool J's going to be at Mania. No.
He's always been a big fan.
Right. Reigns and Lesnar are actually going to go face-to-face next week. Heyman announced on Raw.
It'll be interesting.
And he
sure.
says Brock will be live to do whatever he wants to Reigns. So they're actually going to have him come face. I was wondering if they were going to have him come face-to-face or not, but they are. Wow. CM Punk got in the news again. He said that his debut and Brock's return on the same card would break the UFC pay-per-view record. I agree.
Yeah.
I'd say get Ronda Rousey on there in a match, and you would break all kinds of records.
No,
If you could get Ronda Rousey and Cyborg on Brock's return and Punk's debut card, I think that'd be one of the highest grossing pay-per-views of any sport.
I don't think they'd put them on there though, because it'd be big enough with just Punk and Lesnar.
Yeah, well, if they wanted to do a real big bang,
But
man,
they could,
Yeah.
or they could put another big title fight.
Don't you think UFC kind of needs a WrestleMania once a year, kind of like where all the big fights happen once a year at this big event? They could use something like that, like a Super Bowl.
Everybody would just get hurt.
Well, they need a Super Bowl. Like where this is like
They
your
have it every weekend, the Super
WrestleMania, their WrestleMania. Don't just call it UFC 186 or whatever. It needs to have a special name and everything. That's just an opinion that I got.
They may.
I think it'd be a good idea for them to
They
do.
usually do Super Bowl weekend and 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, but they
really.
really need to make it a special event, like a
Yeah,
WrestleMania type
you
of
name
thing.
both of those two since they have them each
Yeah,
year.
where they're like known as like, hey, this is the big event. You know,
Right,
whatever.
right, like a
July
Super Bowl.
4th weekend or something.
Right, like even have like a all access where you can meet the fighters and all that kind of stuff, and have like they do for WWE Access.
But, I mean, it's kind of hard too with the injuries could happen. But
Yeah.
same thing with wrestling, I guess. But
Yeah, it is harder to promote. You're right.
you could have a good backup plan just in case for something like that, for a big event like that.
Exactly. I think Jason mentioned this earlier, but yeah, Jey Uso's out with a shoulder injury from last week's SmackDown taping. He may miss Mania. So WWE's supposed to put out some kind of statement about his injury. I haven't heard anything yet, but so it looks like the Usos could be out of Mania, which me and Steven aren't going to mind that.
I'm not going to mind that.
I don't care because I am not an Uso fan.
I love the Usos.
It's been too much.
Okay, I'm lying to
Steven,
you.
we know you're lying.
Dude, I hate
Anybody who listens to this show knows we hate the Usos. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Jason?
they're all right. I mean, you really don't have that much of a tag division right now, so.
You're right. They are a tag team, and they're probably one of the better tag teams. I just don't like their whole gimmick and stuff. Is what we don't like.
They play off the family too.
Oh, they play off the family big time.
Right on the coattail.
Or
Speaking of Lesnar, I guess as far as the contracts going, I guess they're in the same place they were like 2 weeks ago, where they're not in any kind of agreement, and I guess one's waiting for the other one to budge, and neither wants to. So that's interesting there that they still haven't signed any kind of contract.
yeah, they're claiming Lesnar is going to have to budge first.
He's gonna have to,
Yeah.
because Vince won't care.
No.
Did you guys hear about The Rock reportedly doing that $80,000 worth of damage to that $6 million home he rented?
I seen something about that, but I didn't read on it really.
Yeah, two real estate sources, and the owners of the Southwest ranches are trying to get him to pay $80,000 in damages. They said like a rare fountain that was out there is gone altogether. There was rotten AstroTurf, scraped up paint where his truck was parked above and below, thousands of dead plants that nobody ever took care of, and flowers, dozens of dead rare tropical fish in the fish tank.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then he also scratched the floors so bad through 2 stories that they had to come in and refinish the entire 2 stories. This guy's living it up.
Oh, hell. Yeah, that ain't nothing to him.
I mean, he just tore the shit out of this place. Just something I wanted to note. I thought was crazy. I think the dead fish in the tank's kind of disturbing.
Probably supposed to be somebody taking care of him.
I'm an animal lover myself, so I just don't like that deal. I don't know. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to go. I could run down the Mania card they got so far. I guess it's going to be Lesnar Reigns, Triple H Sting, Orton and Rollins, Taker Wyatt, Cena Rusev for the U.S., Bad News, the big ladder match with Barrett, Harper, Truth, Ambrose, Ziggler, and Bryan. Then they're going to have AJ and Paige against the Bellas. Then they're having the 2nd annual Andre Memorial Battle Royal. And I'm thinking they're going to throw a tag match in, but that's Mania right now. So, what do you guys think from years past? Do you think it's as big as it has been?
I don't really think it is. It's just ain't got the star power.
It doesn't have the star power of past Manias. The only thing good about this Mania is you're getting to see Sting in the WWE Wrestling first match.
Right. And it's going to be interesting with Brock and Reigns to see what they do with that.
And it'll be interesting with Taker.
Yeah.
The ladder match will steal the show, though. Like I said, Jason, didn't you say that?
Yeah, I think still a show.
Yeah, that ladder match, they better put it on later because it's gonna be hard to follow.
I agree.
There's a lot of good wrestlers in that.
Yeah, I mean Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, Ambrose, Truth. It's hard to even
Cody Gold.
It's hard to even armchair book that one and kind of. I don't even know who you could say is gonna come out with the belt.
Yeah. I just, for some reason, think Daniel Bryan is.
I do like how they are putting the U.S. title and the IC title as marquee titles, though, and trying to get them over. I do like that. So, but I think that's coming to the end of the episode. If you guys don't have anything else to say,
No.
Yeah, not much else to say.
Well, go ahead, Jace.
You guys heard the story that came over like yesterday or the day before about the fans dressing up as wrestlers and had to go change?
Oh yeah, I heard but I didn't really get into it, but I heard something about that. They're visible during the Rusev Cena contract signing, and they were dressed up like IRS and who was the other guys? Hogan.
Duggan, Nikolai, Macho Man.
And WWE actually made them change into WWE gear.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Was there a reason for this?
I don't know. Here lately, I don't know if you guys went to the Survivor Series or not, but you can only bring like certain size signs in, and they even would read what the sign said, and there's probably 1,000 signs that got thrown away that night at Survivor Series. So I don't know what the deal is with the signs, and because I mean years past, even like in St. Louis, there would be 3 people that would dress up as Mankind, Goldust, and
yeah, I remember those guys.
Yeah, and there was no problems. And then all of a sudden, see what I think was those guys that were there for Raw this past Monday, they had front row seats. I remember reading that they had front row seats and they had to go change.
Well, I don't understand why you can't dress up like a guy.
You pay that much money for a front row seat.
You can't dress up. You can't dress up like a guy anymore, so I guess don't try that at any events.
They're trademarking everything too. They don't. Man.
Just like Steven said, this publicly traded company shit is getting to be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting old real quick.
That's the worst thing they ever did was get in the stock market.
Yeah.
So they can't like bleed or cut somewhere.
It's holding them back, and they're having to hold their own selves back due to it. So.
Yeah.
Well, Steven, Jeff, Jason, I want to thank all you guys for getting on here this week. I'm glad Jason got on here. I hope you guys all join us next week. Jason, you going to get on next week with us? For sure.
I'll be there
Oh, yeah,
with
you're going to be
Bob.
here with us for sure, so you'll be here with us live. Steven, hopefully we can get you on next week. Jeff, thanks for getting on.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Jason.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Yeah, go back and listen to the full interview we did on Jason's career. I think you'll find it interesting if you're a wrestling fan. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, remember to rate, comment, subscribe, like us on Facebook if you find us there. Subscribe on YouTube if you find us there. Feel free to comment, leave any kind of questions, and we'll get back. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, episode 19 next week. I'm going to say peace out, guys. Till next week.
Yep. See you all next week.
Peace out.
Okay. Later, guys.
Later.